Hey folks, Jonathan here. I've been really busy. Figured I'd do an update here, a little one, and let everyone know what's going on and what we've been doing. Last weekend we put another transmission in my 57 International 700 R4. You know, you get a lot of people that talk bad about them transmissions, but it's usually because they're all wore out because they've got 250, 300,000 miles on them. So I put my third one in it. I've never actually drove it with a really good transmission in it, and I don't know if this one's good or not. So I've got to pick up some fluid and adjust the detent cable and go ahead and check it out. But we also put 3-inch drop spindles on the front. Some of you may or may not know it's on a 91 Chevrolet full-size frame, and it was our first one-day rat rod build. But that's what we done last weekend. Didn't do any video. Done some other stuff. Helped Jordan on his house. He's about moved in and about finished up with it. I'll do an update video on it later. But anyway, a truck full of motorcycles, like full of Harleys. But anyway, I've done quite a few videos on some towing and stuff. I haven't edited anything and put it on. I'm trying to get some of the good stuff. Most of the stuff I've done here lately has just been boring videos of, just tows and rotation calls where you just abandon cars, back up to them, and unload them. But I got one the other morning, about 5 in the morning. It was before daylight, Saturday morning, and it just happened to be a local truck that was a trash truck. Now, I don't know how it is around where you live, but we've got some people that start their own little trash companies. They'll get a 1-ton dually truck. They'll put a 10 or 12, maybe 14-foot flatbed on it. Sometimes a dump bed, but usually just a flatbed. And they'll put, 6 to 8 foot sides on it, and they will just load that thing up with trash. Now, for some reason, it seems like the guys have been doing this lately. Most of them, the trucks are just total junk. I mean, wore out, won't pass inspection. They just keep on and on. They don't keep the trucks up whatsoever. And it's a mess. And, if you keep the trash in the same county, it only costs them $60 permit per year to dump the trash. So they're not getting any special insurance or anything like that. So they're just, the money they make is usually pretty good profit. But, they don't do things right. They don't cover the trash up while it's in the truck like you're supposed to, and just a lot of BS goes on. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, 5 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, I get a call, and Highway Patrol, and they said it was a dually 1-ton trash truck that had lost part of its load. And that's kind of weird for 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. So anyway, I go to the tow, and I look, and of course about a quarter of the trash in the truck is slung out. Now, I took a little bit of video on my cell phone. It's going to be too dark probably to see, but I'm going to post it anyway, and you can take a look at the mess I got into. Hey folks, here's a outstanding trash company that is should have been out of business years ago, and of course they crashed their truck and got out and ran in the middle of the night, probably drunker than hell. And of course they I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is all trash that the wrecker service, me, is left to pick up and clean the damn mess up. And now I gotta haul their truck somewhere. Now where am I gonna put this? Anyway, as I was loading this truck up, and I called my son. Of course, he wasn't working, so I called him. He come to help me to clean the mess up. And there was a number on the side of the truck, so I was continuing to call it. The address we had for the truck was in another little town near us, but I kind of had a feeling that that wasn't the right address for the company. So I continued to call and finally got somebody to answer. And I just asked him, I said, hey, look, I told him, I said, I'm, picking up one of your trucks that's wrecked, and it's probably their only truck, really, but they didn't seem surprised at all. They didn't ask about a driver. They didn't ask if anybody was hurt. So I pretty much knew that they already knew what was going on. Oh, let me get this phone call here. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, so I kept calling. I finally got a hold of somebody and explained the situation. And like I said, they wasn't too worried about a driver or anything, so I knew they kind of knew what was going on. And so I asked them, if the address that I had was the right address, and they said no, it was another address, which was actually a lot closer, which was nice with me. So I just told them, I said, look, I don't want this thing at my place. It's loaded full of trash. We spent 2.5 hours picking up all the trash that was there, getting it loaded back up, and a bunch of trash bags. I said, I'm bringing it to your place. I didn't really give him a choice. I just told him that's where I was bringing it. So anyway, I took it there and was getting ready to unload. He come out, and I put it where he wanted it. I wasn't trying to be a butthole about it or anything, but so got it unloaded, and an older gentleman, and he said that his son was probably driving it, and he again didn't ask any questions about how his son was doing or anything like that. So I kind of figured his son was probably in the house, already passed out. So and anyway, I told him, I said, well, look, I said, are you going to pay this bill? And he said, I don't have any money whatsoever. He said, but I'll pay it later. And I just told him, I said, hey, you're not going to pay the bill. And that's exactly what I told him. I just said, you're not going to pay it. And I just got in the truck and left. And so I hate to call. Well, my next rotation call after that one is a burnt van. Now, the van sat there for over a week, and we joked between ourselves, with the other record services about who was going to get stuck with it. Of course, I got stuck with it. So this is a burnt minivan. The reason it sat there for over a week is when it burned, the customer, the owner, told the highway patrol they had somebody coming to get it. Of course, they didn't. So I got stuck with it. Now, the van looks like possibly they was living in it. I mean, it's loaded full of clothes and stuff, but there is an address for them. And the 14-inch tires on it, they're actually really good. But I don't see it being profitable to me to keep this van just for the tires. If I take it to the crusher, I'm going to have to take all the stuff out of it. I've got to do the paperwork on it and everything. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to return this van to its proper owner. I'm going to find their address and load that thing up, and we're just going to take it to them and put it in their driveway. I hope there's no laws against that, but I mean, it is their property, and I'm doing nothing but returning their property to them. And it's going to cost me, time and money, but I think in the long run, I'm better off after dealing with the trash truck situation, because I didn't want a 14-foot flatbed, 8-foot tall, completely, totally full of trash at my place. And so I think it's going to work out pretty good, this new business idea here. So anyway, on a Ford. So we're going to get this one dropped off. I've got actually 2 more to do. So, and this is not the first one for the day. So far it's been nothing but towing all day. So it's, cuts into a lot of the time of working and, trying to do videos and stuff like that. So I really want to get some on and get some more videos on, but like I said, it's just not much time. So anyway, we'll get a record video edited up pretty soon too and get on there. And I just don't want to bore you with just regular old tows and stuff. Just haven't had any really good recoveries or stuff here lately that was able to film anyway. That was in the daylight. Most of the drunk people recognize. Anyway, all right, I'll show you more. Okay, folks, finished up hauling that Ford, and I hauled a Toyota Matrix with a bad clutch, and then I hauled an Audi that wouldn't start, and now we're hauling another Ford. So anyway, while I was at this garage picking this up, I just wanted to tell you about something here. I don't know if you can see the side of the wall of the garage. I'll zoom in there. See, as the concrete's busted out, or the block's busted out, and this door here is blown off, and that one's blown out. The windows are out there, and they've already put a new roof on this place. But I was just going to tell you a little bit about what had happened here. Believe it or not, the guy that owns it, or owned this place, that ran this place, I've towed vehicles for years for him. Well, not necessarily for him, but to him. And this was his second shop. He had another shop in Moore County I used to tow cars to, and then of course he'd gotten this one. And him and his son done a lot of drag racing, and had a 5.0 Mustang. And in the evening, probably it's been just a few months ago, his son was had filled a nitrous bottle from what would be called a mother bottle, mother tank, which would be a tank about like an oxygen bottle. What would normally an oxygen hold about 2,000 psi. I think that these bottles hold somewhere around 700 psi. So don't know how many cubic foot bottle it was, 160 maybe, something like that, but big bottle. But anyway, what had happened was, for some unknown reason, they don't know, and I've seen pictures of the bottle and it's kind of weird, but that bottle actually exploded, and it ripped the side of the bottle completely open, and just sheared it apart like it was nothing. The bottom plate was 5/8 thick. I'm not sure how thick the walls were, but bottles are made out of all one piece of steel. So this bottle was over 12 years old, so the manufacturer's not responsible. But it had been hydro tested in 2017. Now this happened in 2018. So not sure what's going to happen with the situation, but it did kill his son, and I feel so sorry for him, because they were very close, and if I lost my son, I don't know what I would do, and I hate it completely, totally for him, and it's just a real mess, and hopefully they'll get something straightened out on it. But it makes me think every time I get around my oxygen bottles and stuff now, they're a higher PSI than what this bottle was, and it didn't knock the top off, it didn't fall over, anything like that. The bottle completely split down the side, just exploded. Still have no clue why, and they're still doing a lot of investigating. That's why it's still closed off here. I just had to come here and pick up a vehicle that was one of the customers' vehicles. So, but anyway, it's something to think about. This guy, passed away, and then about a week later, another guy that I knew and actually was doing a train derailment cleanup. He owned a company doing that, multi-million-dollar company, and he cut a band that was on some plywood, and the whole stack just come over on him and crushed him and killed him. So, you got to be careful. I've almost got it myself about 3 different times I can think of. So, anyway, show you more. Okay, so we're here pulling the engine out, or Noah is pulling the engine out of this International. And Noah told me last weekend that his mom said he was special. So we are going to do a special test. You know what a special test is, Noah?
No.
Alright, look, while you're there, hold on just a minute. You see that antifreeze?
Yeah.
Stick your finger down in it. Just stick your finger down in it. Now pull your finger out. Is there still a hole in the water?
There was never.
Try it again. Try it one more time, though. Alright, pull it out. No, you're not special. So when you stick your finger in a bucket of water and take it out and it leaves a hole, then you're special. Alright, we're going to try to get this thing out today. Last weekend, Noah and I put some 2-inch drop spindles on the front of this and put another transmission in it, and finally got it straightened out. First good transmission I've had in it. And not because that, you get a 700 R4s have a bad name, but usually because if you buy a used one, it's probably got 300,000 miles on it, they're just, no good. So Anyway, loaded up with fence, getting ready to put some fence up here probably the next few days. And anyway, looks a lot better. I'm going to do a little more work to this thing here in the near future. I'm going to put a bumper on the front and a few other little things. Nothing real major. I had to put a key switch in it. My switch finally just wore out. And for anybody that don't know, this was the first one-day rat rod build. You know, we built this in one day. This is an International A160 cab, which was a full drive Navy truck. The frame's a 91 Chevrolet, full size, short bed. Noah needed my help there real quick. Anyway, so we got a 57 International cab, 91 Chevrolet frame. We got power steering, disc brakes, power brakes, like I said, overdrive transmission. Got a 54, 55 something Ford bed on it. And we, like I said, done this in one day. And this has been my daily driver for the last probably 4 years. Jump in and go anywhere I want to go. Sometimes long distance. And you know, I put a new set of tires on it and stuff. So I mean, it's just a good truck. I enjoy it because it's easy to get in and out of. The 59 Ford I like driving, but to me, I like to be able to jump in and out of this. So I'd rather drive this. Like I said, it's loaded down right now. But anyway, so bumper for the front of it. I'm going to show you what we're doing. You remember I got the 54 model cab. Well, it came with a frame, and I've got the frame up on the forklift right now. And what my plans are, because we're trying to clean up and get ready for the rat rod build, so I needed to move this thing anyway. So I figured what we'd do, come up here. We're gonna pull the front axle out. This is like I said, 54 model Ford. You can get any of the parts for it. The kingpins seem to be in really good shape, and I think they've actually been replaced. Somebody had this thing together with a V8 in it, so we're going to use this front axle or save it, probably for the 28 Dodge. Same with the rear axle, and then we're going to use the frame under the trailer or the camper that I'm building. And then this front bumper, I've already got a Ford bumper on the back of that truck, so this front bumper is actually going to go on my International, 57 International. So, you know, we're pretty much using just about everything on this thing. And I think on these springs, you know, I don't need the springs, so what I'm probably going to do is actually cut these springs apart once I get the front axle out, and offer these things for sale in pieces, you know, maybe a couple bucks a piece here local for people to do blacksmithing, because I've had a lot of people that have actually bought springs from me just for that. But it's easier if, you know, if I go ahead and break them apart and they just, you know, come get what they need. And these are thin springs, which is, you know, a lot of people like to use the thinner ones, and these aren't really arched bad. So the back ones are a little thicker, a little heavier. But that'll give people that, you know, who don't live in a, well, junkyard like I live in, they don't have to go through so much trouble to try to find the steel they need to do their blacksmithing, because that's a pretty big thing right now, especially in this area. So anyway, we're going to rip this apart real quick, just to, because like I said, I needed to move it and get it cleaned up. And the Buick frame that was under this Buick car that I used for the camper, you know, it cut up real high, and I wanted something a little flatter. We was going to build a frame, but I just decided against it. And I may end up using these rear springs. I'm probably going to use trailer springs, though. I doubt I'm going to use these. And one of the reasons is the, you can see there's a lot of wear in the pins. And so we probably use a trailer spring and a trailer style axle. And I will probably put electric brakes on it. I'll just add electric brakes on my International, the old Rat Rod International. So anyway, we're going to get to work. Okay, we're just about ready to pull out, but it's probably going to be in the morning because it's going to get dark on us before we get the engine all the way out, engine and transmission. And let me see. All right, I've got this, got the rear end out, front end out. Got the springs out of the front and cut apart. That'll be good for somebody to do some blacksmithing, some knife making, and I'll show you. Okay, here's our front end and rear end out of the 54, and they're just sitting here in front of the Dodge. Not 100% sure we're going to use it in it, but
we've got it for it either way. And there's easy to get parts for, get the brakes for and stuff, so wouldn't be an issue. And we'll see what happens later on. What you got left now?
I gotta take the.
One motor mount bolt in the front and exhaust manifold bolts.
Yep.
And that should be it. We'll get this out and pressure wash it. Put a pan gasket, front seal, and go ahead and put all new seals in the oil cooler. And hopefully that's all the leaks on it. And that's all we could find. Ran it for quite a while with some cardboard laying under it to make sure that we found everything we could find. Now the fuel pump was leaking diesel, so we're going to go ahead and put a new fuel pump on it too. The transfer pump up to the injector pump, so, or lift pump, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're fixing to call it a night. Getting ready to get dark. Going to do a few things on the motorcycle. I've got a buddy of mine that's asked me very nicely to put this together enough to take it to a little benefit for a guy that had a stroke. They're having a little show get together here in, toward the end of the month, so we're probably going to finish boxing the frame and go ahead and get the wheel on it and the chain, and just knock out some of the small stuff and maybe do a little bit of priming on it, or at least clean off some of this surface rust where my shop humidity is so bad. Wanted to show you something. Well, I'm going to do some more on these, but I just wanted to show you that emblem, which actually says Made in USA, and it says motorcycles, JW Motorcycles, Cameron, North Carolina. And this is a big one that I just had made, and these are going to be available if anybody would happen to want to buy one. And here is the other one. Now this is going to be on the side of the tank. There's one on each side, and the flag goes back, opposite on the other one. And once this is painted, you'll be able to see it real well. But these will look really well on the side of the tank. And the size is really, really good. And I'm going to do more on these here. And Cyanide Tube actually made these for me. And he has changed the name of his YouTube channel, and I don't remember what it is, even though I've watched it quite a few times. So, but next video we do on this, I'll update y'all on that stuff. And the emblem, the one that I was talking about that you could possibly buy just for decoration if somebody would want to buy one. I'm not making any money. Hopefully he's making a little bit of money off of them. He uploaded it to a website up in New York, and you can just click on a button and buy them from there, order them, and they make them. So anyway, so we'll be back on this a little bit, and haven't been making any videos or doing any, but I have done quite a few little short pieces and stuff, and some of it's going to be on this video, but just haven't felt much like doing anything. And a lot going on at this time. So anyway, we're gonna call it a night. Appreciate everybody watching. Bye. Say bye, Noah.
Bye.